This time I'll heal, but stitches break under what I feel. Smiled for a while, fooled a few friends, but here I go, breaking again. Swore I was done with falling apart, but some wounds live rent-free in my heart. Kept it quiet, kept it tucked in. Now I'm back where I've always been. It's not the first cut, it won't be the last. I'm just dragging old ghosts through the present fast. Bleeding again, here I go, bleeding again. Thought I was fine, but it's leaking within. Tore off the bandage, thought I was tough, but healing's a lie when life calls your bluff. Bleeding again, here I'm bleeding again. Same old battle I never quite win. Friends say cheer up, you'll be alright, but none of them see the war at night. I fake a laugh, pretend I'm fine, but pain's the only thing that feels like mine. Sometimes I miss when I didn't know how deep it cuts when you never let go. But I'm still breathing, so that's my crime, picking at wounds just to pass the time. It's not the first cut, it won't be the last. Trying to bury the past, but it's built to outlast. Bleeding again, here I go, bleeding again. Told myself this would be different when tore off the bandage, thought I was strong, but maybe I've been hurting all along. Bleeding again, yeah, I'm bleeding again. Same old chapter that never quite ends. Maybe someday I'll learn to sit still, let the scars settle, bend to the will. But tonight's just another lost round, another silent fall back to the ground. Bleeding again, here I go, bleeding again. Told myself this would be different, but then I fall back down, scrape up my pride, stitch myself up just to watch it unwind. Bleeding again, yeah, I'm bleeding again. But maybe next time I'll make it to the end. Maybe someday I'll learn to sit still, let the scars settle, bend to the will. But tonight's just another lost round, and another silent fall back to the ground, the ground. Bleeding again, here I go, bleeding again, again. Told myself this would be different, but then I fall back down, scrape up my pride, stitch myself just to watch it unwind. Bleeding again, here I'm bleeding again. But maybe next time I'll make it to the end.